Hello, I'm Father Michael Bordelon with St. Barnabas Episcopal Church, and today we're going to be talking about Ash Wednesday. It's coming up just around the corner. So this year at St. Barnabas, we're going to have two services on Ash Wednesday, one at noon and one at 6 p.m. Just like all of our services, there are going to be limited seating, only about 59 people per service. What we're going to do is at that service, whenever we administer the ashes, we'll take a Q-tip, and that's how we will apply the ashes to everyone's forehead to make sure that we are COVID compliant and just for the public safety. But we also know that there's a lot of people that won't be able to make it to that service just because we don't have enough room or enough space. So today I'm going to show you how you can make your own ashes at home, a DIY ashes, if you will. So the first thing we need to point out is in the service we say, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. So if there's any purist of you out there, you might be thinking, oh, I'll just go empty my vacuum cleaner and get all the dust I want, and that's what we'll use. You can, just don't share it with me, and probably don't share it with anyone else. Another valid option for you to use is going into your yard and just grabbing some dirt. The idea coming just out of Genesis chapter 2, where God in the Garden of Eden took the dirt, blew life into it, and created Adam. That is just as much, or just as valid as anything else we would do. So then, of course, our third option is to use ashes, and we use the ashes from palm fronds. The palm fronds from last year's Palm Sunday, to be exact. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today if you want to make these ashes at your home. So, of course, first you'll need to get your hand on some palm fronds, and you're in luck because we have a whole lot left over from last year, and we'll put them out, make them available so that you can, so that you can do this. So what I would recommend is if you take them and kind of cut them up, 2-inch spots or slices. You could just crumple them up, that's fine too, but cutting them up is probably the easiest thing you could do. If you took your palm frond and made it into a cross last year, you can use that too, throw it in just as it is. I would say take the safety pin out of it first. That will literally come back and bite you in a couple steps. But palm fronds is what you need. Second is after you cut it up, take it and place it in one of these tins. I usually use the big one just because we're using a whole lot of palm fronds to make the ashes. But for your own, this might be perfect. You only need 2, 3, maybe 4 palm fronds for your small family groups. So you don't need to have a lot. If you have this, go ahead and use it. If you have this, I think it might be better. Really, you're looking for a container to set a fire in and keep all the ashes contained. You can use a lighter such as this. I use a propane torch. It makes it a little bit quicker, but it's all the same. I would, just for public safety, do it outside with nothing over on top of you, and make sure you have a pitcher of water, fire extinguisher, something like that close by, just because it is an open flame. Okay. After you have made the fire, and I mean, these have been dried out for a year. They really burn super quick. You don't need lighter fluid or anything like that. You'll know when they're burned. I take it and just kind of tap it like this. It all falls into the corner. And what I do is I then pour it into one of these. Take it, stir it up, crush it up, and from here, I pour it through one of these. And again, just kind of hit it like this. The idea is you want to, if there's any big pieces or pieces that didn't burn all the way, this really just puts it down and makes it into a really, really fine powder, which is what you want. Now, if you don't have anything like this just laying around, you can just take a handy dandy spoon. And while it's still in your pan, take it and just crush it up against the side, chop it. It's going to do just the same thing as all of these other tools. So whatever one you have, I'm just showing you this is how we do it in the church. But again, we have a whole lot more ashes that we're making. Okay, from there, you take it and just store it in a Ziploc bag. It'll store for forever, almost. I mean, it's ash. It's not going to go bad. And then when you get ready for Ash Wednesday on the day of, take your bag of ashes and add just a little bit of oil. You don't need a whole lot of oil, just enough. It kind of acts as a vehicle so that the ash goes further as you're applying it to the forehead. A drop, just do a drop at a time and make sure you don't want to paste out of it. It still needs to be ash, but the the oil really helps it. Now, don't use like sesame oil or don't use canola oil. We use olive oil here in the church, mainly because that's the oil they used all the way back then and it's what we still use today. So when it gets time to apply it though, like I said, in the church we're using Q-tips. At home with your families, go ahead and don't be afraid to get dirty with it. Take it, put your thumb in there and apply it to each other's forehead. Be kind to each other. Don't do a big Braveheart thing on their forehead. But, just a little mark is all that you really need. When it comes time to clean, the priest tip of the day is we just take a lemon, cutting it in half, and just put your thumb in it like that. It takes the ash off better than anything else that we have. Okay, just a few closing remarks. So in the church service, we will bless the ashes. Of course, a priest is the one who blesses, although I do say that the Holy Spirit is the one who blesses. Now, if you have a priest at home, go ahead and get them to bless your ashes. If not, though, it's quite all right. We always say that, through the purpose of what they're used for, they will then be blessed. And God kind of takes care of everything else in the meantime there. So the ashes that you make at home will be just as much the ashes that we use in church. Even though I wasn't there to bless them or I didn't make them, that doesn't really matter. These are still the ashes that you would use. So I think that is really all that we have. We will put these out so that you can come by and pick up. Again, 2, 3 is probably all that you're going to need for a family. And I hope you have fun with it. If you have any questions, please reach out, let us know. We're here to help you out, but we want you to be able to participate with us on Ash Wednesday, even if you can't be here. Okay, I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.